Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. So we're here, the last episode of Attack on Titan Junior High. I'm not gonna lie, I'm recording a little bit ahead only because I still have to work on the recap from season 4, part 2 after this, and I want to give myself a couple weeks to work on that. In lieu of recording this, so I'm recording a little bit ahead. But I've been looking at everybody's comments, and I think everybody's in agreement that this was the much needed therapy session after season 4, part 2. It was much needed, but I can't believe 12 episodes have gone by so quickly. And not only that, but just it was such a nice breather. And I'm gonna plan on rewatching part 2 after this, and so I know that I'm gonna be sunken into despair again. It's gonna feel so weird going from this happy, no one dies, everything's great show back into the thick of it with season 4 part 2. But maybe after seeing this with all the season 1 references, because I remember commenting back with season 4 that a lot of season 1 seemed like it came full circle in season 4 part 2, that will tie back to all that, so that'll be nice. So, but I've really enjoyed all the references. I've enjoyed seeing these character interactions and these moments with these characters we don't normally see, like with episode 9, getting the whole thing with Bertolt, seeing more with Reiner, seeing more with Ymir, seeing things with characters that are not with us anymore, especially like Marco, that we would not have gotten otherwise in the series because Isayama can't let us have nice things. So we are on the final episode. I find it curious that it's called Attack Titan Junior High. It's like, just not even Attack on Titan Junior High. It seems like it ties more in to the original title of the manga, which is just Attack Titan, which is kind of a spoiler in itself for season 3, so that's fun. But I love that this series got away with so many Easter eggs and references to the manga for seasons ahead of its time that anime only people would be like, oh, that's kind of weird, I wonder what that was. And manga people are like, oh my god, like just freaking out, right? So that's been a lot of fun. But thank you all so much for watching this series with me. I'm really glad that I did this right after watching season 4 part 2. I'm glad I waited because I needed like a cathartic cleansing. I needed to cleanse myself of all of the negative emotions that had built up from season 4 part 2, so that in a few days when I go back and start rewatching it again and have it pile up again, I'll have a clean slate. Because honestly, watching week to week for over, as this is finishing, it's been over a year since I've started watching Attack on Titan, which is kind of insane. The fact that I've watched this series week to week for a year straight, for over 52 weeks straight, is a bit crazy. And if I'd only stuck to watching one episode at a time like I originally was, I would not be caught up at this point with the series. But I decided that no, I'm gonna do 2 episodes a week, and it was very draining, but it was very rewarding because it kept me just like hungry. And now I am going to do the audio drama. I decided I'm not going to do it next Tuesday. I'll probably have it come out between this episode and the new show that will start after this. So it will come out separate. It'll just maybe be on like a Sunday or a Wednesday or something. It'll be on an off day when I don't have 2 things already airing. Might even be next Tuesday. It'll come out with the new show, so that may be cool. But yeah, it may come out next Tuesday with the new show. That might be fun. At least on YouTube. On Patreon, I've already got 2 shows airing on Tuesday, so it may come out like on a Monday or a Sunday or something like that. But I'm really excited. I'm going to listen to the audio drama for the high school cast thing because someone sent me the links to it way back in like March for that. So I'm going to listen to that. And then we'll start a new show. And then once I figure out exactly when season 4 part 3 is coming out, I do want to start reviewing the manga, and I'll talk about this in the recap leading up to the release of season 4 part 3 to kind of like give us a big refresher on Attack on Titan. That's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited for that, but we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. So hopefully this summer they'll give us some more information. Usually you figure like 6 months out they do like a preview or a little hint of something to come. I'm not going to watch the previews, by the way. I want to go in totally blind with Attack on Titan, so I'm not watching the previews. No spoilers for this girl, but I will be excited to know exactly when it's coming out in 2023 so I can plan. I'm going to guess it's January, but I don't know. With this series, and they're working on it, I don't know. I don't think there's that many episodes involved. It'll just kind of depend. So we shall see, right? But in any case, I'm really excited to dive into this final episode of Attack on Titan Junior High and just savor it and all its goodness. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoy the reaction, but let's not waste any more time. We're going to start episode 12 of Attack Titan Junior High, and we're going to start that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Oh my gosh. I was really looking forward to this, and it did not disappoint. Did not disappoint. Wow, all the things tying back. All I can say is it's pretty sad. It's the last time we're gonna see Eren happy in a while. There was just so much of this episode. I was really getting emotional towards the part where they were all teaming up together to go and get the Cheebergs back. I was starting to get a little emotional there because I was like, damn. And I know most of this is tying to season 1, and a lot of this is tying to season 2 and season 3. But there's just so much about this episode that it ties back to season 4 too, and it's just so dang, it's just visceral almost. You're like, this is this chibi series, but it just has a way to cut to the core of you, especially like Eren's speech and coming back to no regrets. The whole no regrets speech by Levi is one of my favorite in the whole show. I love that speech, and it ties so much to everything that has to do with these characters and stuff that the recap's going to bring up so much, right? But I like that you have Bertolt and Reiner looking away, like everybody looks so heartbroken. They do a good job in this episode. You know what I was afraid of? I was afraid in this episode that you were going to figure out that Bertolt was the Colossal Titan and that Reiner was a Titan. Like they've given Easter eggs and hints of it all season of this. But I'm happy this episode they did not jump the shark and give too much away. They scaled it back a little bit, and it's like, okay, you're scaling it back so it leaves some of the mystery, to come. And I like the cheeseburger wrapper is like the signal, the symbol of the one thing that humanity can't get because the Titans have taken it. I also really like the image of Levi looking down on Eren and Mikasa, and it's like he's figuring out that he's going to help them. Like he's already decided it in that moment. He decided he was going to help Eren and Mikasa. He just can't vocalize it. That's Levi's thing. He never vocalizes anything. Even once he's made up his mind, he's very, very stoic, reserved, and keeps things close to the vest, even when he's already made up his mind about something. But man, this episode was really good. This is a great way to end it. I thought this was the ending shot of Eren getting thrown up in the air and everybody like throwing up and cheering him on. That'll probably be the thumbnail because again, the last moments of happiness for our Jaeger boy, and it's in this chibi series. Oh my god, I can't. So yeah, I love that we have everybody debating what to do out on the field. I love that Armin's like the one that comes up. He's like, hey, Eren. And Eren, of course, is just, he's like, I've decided I'm going to the Titans building to get back our Cheebergs. I'm going to do it myself. And Mika says like, well, and I like Marco's like, well, you can't do that. And of course, Armin says, I'm coming too. Yeah. And so I love this. I love that we have Zachary, we have Niall, we have Pixis, and we have Keith and Warman. And then I love that Jean's like, again, going back to Niall from season 1 where he was like telling Eren and all them what to do. And Jean and all them were like, well, that's not right. Isn't the government going to do anything? And Niall's like, no. And I like that Zachary is like, oh, you pledged your life to upholding the school rules, huh? Like just putting that whole perspective about what you pledged your loyalty to and all that. And Eren being like, but this is for what's right. And it's like, But I like that Keith kind of stays in the background with Pixis. And Warman, of course, just like in episodes 9 and 10, is just like trying to kick him out. And Niall, I like that Ymir trips Niall. I'm like, what? That's so funny that she trips him. That's interesting because I don't think she ever has an interaction with him in the series. So it's kind of funny that she's the one that trips him. And Historia hits Warman. I'm like, I'm amazed by that. That's really impressive that they managed to put that in there. And then I'm sorry, but we have everybody sitting there like Ymir and Historia in their maiden butler costume. We have Marco standing up here with Sam, and we have Franz and Hannah, and Dawes is hiding behind Thomas, and we have Mina. And I love that Bertolt and Andy are kind of like, we don't know what to do, but Reiner is the one guarding them. And I love that Natalie's like, what do you think you're doing? And Pixis is drunk. And they're all rebelling together. And the moment that Reiner looks behind and says, go, Eren. I was like, as we'll talk about in the recap, we'll talk about ships in the recap, so I'm not going to say too much in this. The only thing I will say is that I have recently, over the past several months, mainly because I want Reiner to be happy and I want Eren to be happy, I've slowly started to ship Eren and Reiner quite a bit. And this scene here of Reiner telling Eren to go, it's just, yeah. It's fueling that ship pretty hard. And he's like, everyone, thank you. Oh, and Eren just running off, and everybody. And then I love that, just like in season 4, the group, our chaos groups, our 2 trios, just like in season 4, just like, because in season 2 they all get split up, and in season 3 they're kind of together, but Eren's kidnapped, so they're not together. This is, until we get to season 4, we really don't see our 6 all together like this. We don't see Armin and Mikasa and Eren alongside of Jean and Connie and Sasha. But that smile on Eren's face, and when he's like, we can do this, and Eren's leading the way, and he's like, you guys, and Mikasa's like, what's the plan? And he's like, for now, let's just head straight to the Scout Regiment's club. I'm sure upperclassmen will help us somehow. Like, it got me so, like, worked up, because I was like, man, this is like, when we get to season 4 and Eren's by himself, and yeah, the other 5 show up to save him, to apprehend him again, but it's under totally different circumstances, and their mood is so different. It's so dour and sad. And here, the 6 of them are all running together with this mission in mind, and they're all together, and we just don't see that in the main series. And it's so wonderful and moving, and I'm like, dang it, what could have been, Isayama? Like, why can't you let us have nice things? Ugh. And then, of course, Keith has to be like, Grisha, today your son's become a soldier. I'm like, shut up, Shut up, Keith! Don't remind me! Oh, God. And so then, yeah, I liked it. And we have the scene where Eren confronts Levi. And Mike's always in the corner there, right? And we have the Levi squad and then Hanji. And Levi's like, we're on standby. He's like, this is our job. What's your job again? And this conversation, will you surrender to the emotions you have at any given moment? Like, are you just going to be super impulsive, or are you going to actually think about something? Right? And I love that Levi always seems to be in control of his emotions, unless it comes with the promise, and then he kind of like slips up a little bit. And then Eren just being like, we have to do this. And Petra, it's just reminiscent of Bite. This whole conversation is reminiscent of Bite, and how Petra was telling him to trust them. And it's so sad, because like I've talked about in the other series, in the other recaps and everything, it's that Eren just wants answers and explanations, and he can't take the fact that he's not getting them. And so I don't like that Eren gets to the point in Bite where he questions whether he can trust other people. Like, that's always, I feel like from Bite on, Eren really questioned whether or not he could work with people when it came down to it, because he's like, I can fight on my own, actually. Like, that's always been the thing that's bothered me, is since Bite in season 1, from that moment on, and from Eren realizing what happened, that it ended up killing the Levi squad, he always was like, well, if I just work on my own, then nobody's gonna get hurt, nobody can stop me, I can do what I want, and it'll be fine, and everything will work out. And so I've always kind of like been like, oh, but Eren, like, yeah, Levi's whole concept, his whole conversation, he says, why do I always rely on others? And Levi's whole thing is like, I don't care what you do, you're not wrong, just, if you want to do it, do it. Just do something. I don't know the right answer. I've never had it with me. I love this, whether I trusted myself or the choices of my dependable comrades. There was no telling how things would turn out. So just do the best you can and choose whichever you'll regret the least. Yeah, and then Petra's like, are you going to trust us? And Eren says, no, I'm moving forward. And the thing of it is that he moves forward and that his friends follow him. Mm-hmm. That's the sad thing, though. I don't know. We'll talk about it in the recap, the whole idea of depending on others and Eren's choice. Does he regret what he's doing the least? I don't know. We'll talk about it in the recap. I've got to rewatch the season to know for sure. Mm-hmm. And then Erwin listening from behind the door, just taking it all in. I love that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they end up going into the Titan school. They end up going in there, and then the Titan building is such a hodgepodge. It's so crazy. And then I love that they instantly realize it's a bad idea. They don't have their ODM gear, and Hannes and Rico and Ian, it was Ian, they end up getting them like smuggled into the side room to like go on and get their gear and get ready to go take back the Cheebergs in the principal's office. I was wanting to know who the principal was, but I guess it's the Colossal Titan, which is kind of weird because that means Bertolt's the principal of the Titan school. So that's odd. So maybe that was just trying to throw everybody off so they wouldn't suspect it was Bertolt, because Bertolt being the principal of the Titan school is kind of kind of odd, right? Unless it's a different attack titan. Unless it's a different colossal titan, I mean. But I love that the word attack is above the principal's desk. I thought for a second it was going to be like a veiled reference to like Grisha or something, but they don't give us that. No. There are these 2 chairs in front of the trophy room, which is kind of weird. And I love that the desk, I thought it was the desk, was the models. I thought the desk was made of walls, like the walls around Parody, but it's a model scale of the city. Because of course it is. Well, it's also kind of maybe a subtle reference to Marley and the fact that there's walls within walls, no matter where you go to. And then John's like, at the center, of course, at the center of the city is the basement key. Is it a reference to season 3, maybe? In the basement? I don't know. I don't know. And then they've got to go to the keyhole. Yep. Maybe it's a reference to season 3. I'm not sure. But I love that Armin has a plan. The animation of Eren, and of course we get these titans coming at them. The animation of Eren trying to go after the key and slipping and falling because it's too heavy. That animation is so damn funny. I was not expecting that. That came out of nowhere and it was hilarious. He's like, I will succeed. And then whoop. It's so good. I love it. And then it won't budge. But it takes, and then in the background you see Armin like flying around going, eh! It's really funny. That part's really cute. But then it's Eren and Mikasa that help him pull the key out. Especially Armin and Mikasa. Especially Armin helps him pull the key out. That's really sweet. Right? Makes me think of Hero. Makes me think of those episodes. Makes me think of the episode in Trost where it's mainly making fun of Trost. And him and Armin like reaching through him and they have the Born into this world speech. So it's mainly calling back to that. But, and then Ilse and Marco, our freckled cinnamon buns, helping each other record everything. Of course they do. Of course they do. But yeah, I like that Mikasa distracts the Titan while, just like in the Trost battle, Armin talks to Eren and he makes the comment that, yeah, I can do this. Why did you want to go to the Titan's building? He's like, why? Isn't it obvious? Because I was born into this world. Because I have the right. And so then, yeah, we basically get the same imagery from the Battle of Trost when Connie like hits the wall and John saves him, and then John nearly gets killed. All that stuff. Except in this, Annie saves him. Annie saves John using the Titan that likes John. So that's fun. I've never considered Annie and John a thing in this show. So I do think it's funny that Annie's like, oh yeah, here's the Titan that likes you. Okay, sure, whatever. It's funny. I like that a lot. But yeah, we see, and I thought for a second we saw the transformation, we would actually see Eren as the Attack Titan because it's already been shown in season 1. But instead, it would not make sense with the logic of this show that Eren would be a Titan. So we see him just billowing the steam and then carrying the key with the green eyes. Oh my God, those green eyes. I freaking love it. And Armin's like, Eren's doing his responsibility. And they do all they can to keep the Titans at bay, allowing Eren to do it. And so then we see in the gymnasium, I love that in the end. I love in the end that all of his friends come to help him, like Sasha and Connie and John and Armin and Mikasa. They all help him with the door to open it up and go in. I love that shot. And I love that Rico's like, your deaths weren't in vain. And John's like, I'm not dead yet. Because I'm like, yeah, nobody dies in this show. Not in this one. But then we go inside the gym. I like that the doors open up with the wall with Maria, and he gets to see that it's the gymnasium. And there's the Santa Claus Titan, and all of the Titans from the basement from that day are all sitting there, like, overjoyed with the food. It's all of them. And then, of course, Eren goes after him, and then the Titans notice them. La la la, and then all of a sudden this disco ball comes down, and in traditional, I feel like every Chibi series for every series has to have a band scene. Everyone does, whether it's Bungo Stray Dogs 1, whether it's this series, every series has to have like a band moment where there's a concert. I guess that's just the stereotype that has to be upheld, right? It's so cute though, because you have Mike on the drums. You have Hanji in the suit. Hanji in the suit looks great. I love Hanji as a suit with the guitar. And of course, Levi's singing vocals. But their heads are all bandaged up. And it's kind of, it's kind of foreshadowy a little bit with Hanji, because Hanji loses her eye, and Levi ends up with the eye injured, and Mike just ends up dying. But it's such kind of like a foreshadowing. I'm like, what we doing, show? What we doing foreshadowing this just a wee bit, eh? And then, yeah, and so then the Titans are all listening to the band, and I'm assuming that it's the singer of the OP, says no name on the two Titans. I'm assuming it's the person who does the OP that is the one that is in the military band costume listening and saying bravo. I'm assuming they're like the lead singer of the OP is the one in that shot, and they just animated him. I'm guessing that's what happened. I'm guessing that's just like the cameo right there. And so, yeah, and Eren's like, oh, they ended up coming. They knew that we were going to need their help. It's a big help. And then Jean's like, we're still not going to get the food back no matter how you look at this. And then we see Bertolt, or the Colossal Titan, raising up the roof. To get the Cheeberg, and Eren jumps up there, and we have the whole thing with Trost and him. And he gets eaten by Bertolt, which is, I was like, are they really going to have Eren get eaten by Bertolt? Is he going to, like, become a Titan and claw his way out? I don't think this Chibi series would do that. And then it doesn't. He ends up, Bertolt spits him back out, and he gets the one cheeseburger left. And it's just the one they need. He had the mustard. He's on the mustard gun. And he got his cheeseburger back. And so we see Franz and Hana. We don't see Bertolt in that shot of all of them. We see Keith with Ymir and Historia and Mina. We see Thomas. We see Daz and Samuel. And we see Hans and Frana. And we see Reiner. We don't see Bertolt in that shot. Of course we don't. Because he's the Colossal Titan. I was like, that's clever, show. That's clever. And then we see the Levi squad. Levi squad looking so happy with Eren happy in the background. I'm going to take a picture of that. That's really, really sad. Because it's like the last time we're going to see them in a long time. Ugh. And then, yeah, the Cheeberg bastard got us worried. Aww. And they're like, he did it. His eyes are saying, what do you think of that, Eren? Oh, man. And it's such a contrast, right? You have this beautiful, happy moment of Eren surrounded by all his friends, and they're all so proud of him. You contrast that with season 4, part 2. It's a wee bit different. It's a wee bit different. Just a little different vibe. A little bit. And then Niall. Warman's passed out. Niall says they disregarded the rules. Zachary doesn't look like he's concerned. There's these other characters. Pix has got his flask. And there's Pix's assistant, Anka's there. And then Erwin's like, we never imagined the humans would go against the Titans before. The fact that human students took a Cheeberg back from the Titans is a big step forward. I kind of, is it bad that I kind of want to ship Marco with Ilse now? Our little freckled squared. Do I want to ship Marco and Ilse? Because it's so cute and they're cinnamon buns? Poor Jean. I'm not shipping Jean with the Titan lady because it's actually a dude, but also because he's also like 40, but also because no. I think Jean is our bisexual king, but I don't think Jean wants to date a middle-aged guy that's from the Restorationists. I don't think Jean's into that type. I think Jean's preference on men is a little bit different. But, and it's time to turn to attack. Aww. It's so cute. And then them throwing Eren up in the air. Him taking a bite out of the Cheeberg. And being so happy. Oh, I can't, y'all. This is just... And we see them all together at the end there. Sasha's got 2 cheeseburgers. Ymir and Historia are together. Reiner and Annie and Bertolt are side by side. Jean has his arm around Marco! Ugh. Oh my god. Yep. That's a really good ending. Really good ending to this. It's the last bit of happiness we're going to get from Attack on Titan in a while. Hope you all are prepared. Yep. So anyway, that was really cute. I liked this series altogether. Attack on Titan Junior High. It's a really cute chibi series. It's right up there with Bungo Stray Dogs 1, I think. I think Juan for me may have had a few more cutesy moments than this, but like Modazushi Q and this, I feel like this is similar to Bungo Stray Dogs Juan in its humor style, in its humor and animation, but in terms of the references to the main series, it reminds me more of Modazushi Q in that regard, because it has a lot more references to the series and lots of foreshadowing too for seasons to come. So that's fun. But yeah, I'm really glad I watched this. This was just exactly what I needed after watching the heaviness that was Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 2. And now that I get to go back and rewatch it again, it's going to be even better. So it's going to be even more fun, right? So yeah. I'm really excited though to get into the recap and get it all finished up and recorded for you all. I don't know how long it's going to be. God, I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to be. The recap in the past, I've sat down in one sitting and just recorded the whole thing in one sitting and then edited it. And so the last time when I did part 1 of season 4, it was like a solid 7 hours of recording. It was a lot. And I think I only took a couple breaks like to eat food like during it, but I literally mapped out my whole day to sit there and edit and do all that. It was a lot. But I was on a time crunch because it was like one season ended and I wanted to get to the next season to catch up. So I felt like I was on a time crunch. And with this, I think I may actually record a few parts separate because I have the opportunity to do that and then put it all together. And so that will be nice. So I don't know how long it's going to end up if I do that because I won't be tired. You know, the last season 4, part 1, I was starting to get tired towards the end there. I was like, oh God, this is a lot of recording. But if I'm splitting it up, then my energy will maybe be up more. And so who knows how long it'll be? Who knows? We won't know till next week. So, but yeah, it's going to be on Patreon. It's going to be on Patreon and then YouTube the following week, right after this episode. So yeah, next week the recap will be up. Right now it's already on Patreon, but it'll be up here on YouTube next week. And then following that, we'll have the audio drama. I'll react to it and we'll start a new show because I'm like, I want to start a new show while I wait on season 4 part 3. And then this slot will probably be saved for season 4 part 3 when we get to it. So that'll be good. And then, yeah, I'll figure out exactly when season 4 part 3 comes out and I'll time out when I want to do the manga readings before then. And maybe I'll have more info about that in the recap. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below, what you guys thought of everything. But this series was just the right amount of joy we needed with Attack on Titan before diving back into the pit of despair. So in the meantime, I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back next week with the recap review and RIP for season 4 part 2 of Attack on Titan. Cheers.